Recorded on my screen, my app. Oh, there, it's recording now. Okay. All right, first rule of factoring is you take out what's in common, but this doesn't have anything in common. Like this one has an N in it, and that one has an N in it, but that one does not. And there's no number or anything that they have in common. Once you've established that there's nothing in common, you'll draw two parentheses, and you'll factor the first and the last. Don't worry about the middle. That's people's biggest mistake, probably, that keeps you from being able to be good at this, is trying to do too much at one time. The factors of the front and the back interact to get you the right middle number. All right, so in the video I'd given you, you eventually probably don't even write a lot of this down, but you can anytime you want to. But in my head or on a piece of paper, I factor the front like 5 and 1. And the first thing that comes to mind on 72 is 8 and 9. So those are my factors of 5. And there's other factors of 72, but I'm going to try these first. I talked to you in the video, if you watched it, about a big smile and a little smile. Okay? Like actually a smile. Okay? Because I like to be happy. No one else calls it smiles. That's just a Miss Lazari thing, but we all are doing the same process. So here's the big smile is 45. And a lot of this you can do mentally. The little smile is 8. 8. And so now this big smile is 40. And this little smile is 9. So let me get a different color. All right, so from 5 to 8 gave me 40. And from 1 go in the front, 5 in and 9. And the numbers in the back go in the back, 1 in and 8. You could put a 1 in front of the N if you want to. Now, if the last sign is a plus, the only way to get a plus in the back is to either have done a negative times a negative or a positive times a positive. So that tells me that my signs are the same. They're either both positive or they're either both negative. Okay? But this negative 49 is telling me that they must both be negative. So now I have it factored. That's my answer. All right, now if you had time on a test, you could go back and check. Okay? So let's go down and do this one. I don't really know why I chose it first to have a 5 in the front of both of them. There's no magic there. It just coincidence. All right, so I'm going to factor the front and I'm going to factor the back after a first look for what's in common. 5 and 1. Factor the back. The first thing I think of is 6 and 6. Do a quick smile. This smile is 30. This smile is 6. I don't see a way to get 41 out of 30 and 6. There's no good reason to change the 6 with the 6. That's kind of silly. So I'm going to go to the next factors of 36 that I think of, which are 9 and 4. Now, I know factors of 36 are 1 and 36, 6 and 6, 9 and 4, 4 and 9, 3 and 12, 12 and 3. I'm not trying to overwhelm you. I'm trying to admit that I know there's lots of possibilities here. But welcome to real life. We're working with, there's so much that, so don't be discouraged in the fact that sometimes in math we've got a little bit of trial and error, but we at the very least we know that we've got to do things that are 36 and 5. So that's our safety net. Yeah.
I have a quick question.
All right.
Didn't we not finish factoring on the first problem?
Oh yeah, I'm through. Let me go back and circle that. Here's our answer. It's a mess right now, but here's our answer right here. I'll highlight it.
Wait.
Here's the answer on the first problem right here.
So my question was, do we just like multiply the two, like how we multiplied 5n squared and 72? Do we like multiply, for example, we put like 40 and 9. Do we multiply both of them by 40? and both of them by 8. I'm a little confused with that one.
Okay, let me keep doing examples. It's going to be like in class. I'm going to keep doing examples and you'll get it, okay? So let's go forward and then we can go backwards. But we're going to have to go backwards less if I go forward more. So I'll come back to that question in a little while, okay, Susan? All right, so let me go back to the one that we're doing, this one right here. And get a different, better color. That gives me 20. And I'm going to do a little smile. That gives me 9. We're multiplying. 5 times 4 is 20. And 1 times 9 is 9. I can't get a 41 out of 29. We're trying to put these puzzle pieces together. I like to keep my trial and error as orderly as possible. And so I'm not going to jump to any other factors until I exhaust these. Sometimes it won't let me erase things for some reason. I don't really know why. I haven't figured that out. So let me hit undo. Or won't let me erase any of that. Okay, that's frustrating. Apparently I hit undo way too much. I don't know how to make it stop. Seriously. Wow. Is trying to make the first numbers and the last numbers to where you can get the middle number. All right, so in a positive. You can guess and check, but there's a little bit better way to know. Do y'all see this is a negative? Okay, so that means that I'm going to use, I can decide between these two. The way that I decide is this in green gave me 45. And this gave me 4. And I can see I want the 45 to be negative and the 4 to be positive. So you'll get to practice some of these on your own, of course, for homework. But I want this big number that gave me the 45, which is happening out here. Here's the big smile. When you FOIL it out, you should go back to where you started from. It's just like
I couldn't see the other answer.
Okay, yeah, that's because it's a big mess. All right, I'm going to go forward and I will come back to the page with 10 questions on it.
Yes. Do you want to get our packets?
Yeah.
Do not get your packet. This is not in the packet. Thank you for having your packet. If those of you that do, I just didn't know who would and who wouldn't. So I don't think these are in your packet. I got them from somewhere else. They could be, but I didn't intentionally draw them from your packet. So right now you're following along on here, and I'll send all this information to you. Okay, so I'm going to factor a few more, then I'll pause and let you try some. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to go out here, and I'm going to write it just to where I just wanted a list of things to look at. Okay, I'm going to factor this first one here. So I'm first going to look for something in common. There's nothing in common. So I'm going to factor the front, 2 and 1, and I'm going to factor the back, 3 and 1. Okay. Then I'm going to do my smiles. Outside, big smile is dark. Let me minus plus. Okay. So that means one of these has got to be negative, and one of these has to be positive. Okay. If this one's negative and that one's positive, I won't get a 5. If this one's positive and this one's negative, I won't get a 5. So now I'm kind of sad because it looked like it was going to work, but no matter. And so I'm going to have to try something else. That can happen to you sometimes where it looks like it's going to work at first, but it doesn't. Okay, so I'm going to start again. And you'll get so much better at this. By the time I'm in later in the year, I was going to even say like in another class, but even in our class we'll get faster, so just wait. I'm going to try 2 and 1. Do you remember I tried 3 and 1 and it didn't work? So now I'm going to switch it to 1 and 3. Big smile is 6. Little smile is 1. Okay, I'm happy again because I feel like I can get a 5. The signs have to be different because the last sign is a plus. So let's write it down. The front numbers are these, 2x and 1. The back numbers are these, x and 3. I want a -5. Same sign, different sign, same sign, different sign, different sign. Okay, so I'm going to do one more, then I'll take questions. All right, let's go to this one. 3x squared plus 10x minus 8. There's nothing in common, so I'm going to try 3 and 1 and 2 and 4. I'm just going to start. Oh, I think we're lucky. I think it's going to work. Like I said, you'll get to where you can see it ahead of time. Do you girls see I have a 12 and a 2? Pretty happy about that. I'm hoping that will work. Different signs means that one of them needs to be negative and one of them needs to be positive. All right, so I'm going to use 3 and 2 in the front, 3x and 2, 1x and 4 in the back parentheses. And don't I want this one that gave me this 12 to get a positive 10? I want these outside numbers to give me a positive. So I'm going to make this one positive and this one negative. Okay? All right, so I'm coming back. I hadn't been able to see y'all, so I hope you're all still there when I go back. That would be pretty funny if I went back to the class view and no one was there, but now I see all of you. Thanks for hanging in there. Questions? Okay, Susan.
Can I screenshot the page that we were just on?
Yeah,
So I
and
can
I'll
see
also
what-
be posting the video. But let me go back to this page, and I'll just hold still while you screenshot it, okay? Hang on.
Thank you.
So, Susan, just make sure you don't do anything with anybody's pictures. You can do anything with the slides you want to. I don't really care. Thank you for asking. Any other questions? Okay, some of you are like, I want to move faster, like I got this. And so I'm going to do the next one faster and see how you like it using the same process. So I'm going back to the whiteboard. I'm going to pray that I can read. So now in blue, we're going to this one. All right, 2y squared plus 15y plus 7. You actually can start to do it all within your parentheses. Like some of you will bypass that and you'll do all your trial and error pretty fast like most of us do as you go on. All right, so I'm going to have a 2y and a 1y. I factor the front and I factor the back. I hope you can hear me saying that in my sleep, in your sleep. I factor, and so I can kind of see, that's what we do in our head. Like in my head, I check, is this 14 and this is 1, I'm good to go. All right, good news, the signs are the same. They're either both positive or both negative. Can me watch my green, that would give me a positive 14. And this would give me, do you see this? That would give me a positive 1. A positive 14 and a positive 1 gives me a positive 15. Does that make sense? Hang on, let me go back. I'm going to do some more. Are y'all okay? Does that make sense? Okay. All right. Let me do 2 more. I'll let somebody try one. Or I'll let you try one and then you can show us. Or just like if I said factor 29 as opposed to factor 27. But right now, and that might happen. But, and 1. The factors of the back, most of us would probably try 2. I tried 1 and 4. I'm sorry, what did I try first? 2 and 2. Now I'm going to do 4 here and 1 here. All right, big smile is 7. Little smile, what order those are in as far as what I'm about to show you in just a minute. I'm going to share my screen again. But like here, one student could say their answer is 7a minus 4 times 1a minus 1. Another person could have put it like in this order, a minus 1 and 7a minus 4. Can y'all see that's the same factors? It's just like saying 2 times 3 or 3 times 2. So when you're checking your work, when I provide you the answers or Delta Math gives you the answers, it doesn't matter what order your two parentheses are in. They just need to say the same thing no matter what you do. All right. So let me let you try one. I'll go to a when you have it, jump.
I got, open parentheses, 5n plus 2, and then in the second parentheses, I got n plus 3.
Okay, I can
Yeah,
verify that's
two.
correct. I'm going to come
That's
back
not
to the class. Yay! Okay, so I heard a few people saying they got that too.
Yeah, I got that.
Yeah.
Great. Okay. Any questions? How did I know it was right so far if I hadn't worked it? Like I really haven't worked that one. As soon as Grazia read it out, this is what I did to check her answer. I thought to myself, the outside gives me 15, the inside gives me 2, 17. This is positive 15 because of this. This is positive 2. So I knew she was right. I could check the middle pretty fast. All right, try this one. I'll write it up under here. Let me go back and grab one. All right, let's do 6x squared minus 7x minus 20. I'll write it down on the screen for you. 6x squared, does anybody remember what I said? Minus 7x minus 20, I think. I'll go back and check.
That's what it was.
That's what it was. All right. All right, do what Grazia did and just pipe in when you've got it.
No.
I see whiteboard.
You just still see the whiteboard?
Yeah.
The whiteboard has overtaken my life. Okay. I'm typing in something to Desmos that you can't see, which is fine. I'll show you what I'm doing in just a minute.
I think I got it.
Yes, so did I think so, maybe 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, it will factor. Okay. I don't know who said they got it first. Does everybody see my whiteboard right now?
Oh, that was me.
Okay. Let me go back to my view of you. Raise your hand if you have it. If you think you got it.
I have it, but I don't have a camera.
Okay. Susan, you want to give us your answer there?
Yeah, I don't know if it may not be completely right, but I'm 1x minus 10.
Okay, you're on the right track, even if that doesn't work. Some great things about this that I see is you've got different signs. You've got to have different signs, and you're doing, unless you have the same thing.
Yeah. In the first parentheses, I did 2x minus 5. And then the second one was 3x plus 4.
Grazia, is that what you had?
Oh yeah, I have that.
Okay.
I have that.
And like I said a minute ago, you could have also had 3x plus 4 times 2x minus 5. Look at this. This gives me 8x. And this gives me negative 15x. That could give me a negative 7x in the middle. And so it sounds like most of y'all are, hopefully all of you are on the right track. And your safety net is you just play around with it until you get it right. But I think even today, a lot of you have found out that you're faster at it. Okay, we're going to take a couple, we won't always go this long. but I wanted to show you basically why are these so much easier is what is the number in the front? What's understood to be in front of x squared?
There's
A 1.
Isn't there a 1
but-
in front of all of these? So these are tons easier. The factor of the front is going to be 1x and 1x. What's the factors of the back? Either 8 and 1 or 4 and 2. But y'all see this 6 in the middle? Which one do you think it'll be? Anybody?
4 and 2.
Yeah, do you see you don't, if you only have a 1 in the front, then you get to, you don't have to do all that guess and check stuff. Let me finish this problem and we'll do the next one. It's a positive, that means either the signs are both positive or both negative. But since that's positive, hadn't it already been decided for me? I could do my smiles. 4 and 2 gives me 6. All right, let's do this one. It's such a pleasure if there's... What are factors of 16 that can give you a 10? Anybody? Factors of 16? 8 and 2. So it's going to be x minus 8, x minus 2. What are factors of 24 that can give you a 14?
12 and 2.
12 and 2. Do you see how easy it is if there's not a number out here? Girls,
Yeah.
if there's a number in the front of it like this, if there's a number in the front of it, can y'all see this 7? Does that make sense? Give me a thumbs up if that makes sense of how easy it is if there's not a number in the front. Okay, so if there's not a number in the front, you see you can do it really fast in your head. You can put your fingers down. Thanks for raising your thumbs. You can put them down. If there's a number in the front, then it throws you into more possibilities that you have to see the interaction. Okay? And then one more thing real quickly. If I've gone this far, I might as well go a little further just because you're doing so well. I'll try to keep the next one really a lot shorter. Right here. What's weird about this one? About all of these on this page? Somebody jump in. What's weird about those?
There's only 2.
Can y'all see?
It got
It canceled out. Understand that page too, but we'll pick up there. So we did almost everything on the syllabus today, but don't look at it. That's more for me or just for structure, so you know what the topics we're going to learn. On assignments, I'll post either a worksheet or a Delta Math